So a lot of people have asked me to talk about the David Yurman jewelry from the Valentine's Day meal, and I'd love to talk about it. I don't think I'm going to be adding anything new, but for those of you who don't know, I've actually been hugely passionate about gems and minerals since I was a kid. I did in Science Olympiad, rocks, minerals, and fossils, got fourth in the nation when I was in high school. I have a geology degree. I have like 95% of my gemology degree, which is a trade degree in jewelry. Okay. So, for Valentine's Day, Robyn got these earrings and this bracelet. We're assuming from David Yurman because we can match them up. Additionally, last year I looked at the map of that mall that they're always being spotted at. And sure enough, there's a David Yurman in the mall and there's a Vladimir Kush. So if you're not familiar, that's these paintings. There's a painting here. There's a painting like up against this wall. Vladimir Kush is a surrealist. My guess is that these are giclée prints, which are prints done with paint. They're very, very expensive, but don't hold their value very well. But let's get back to the earrings. So when I went on David Yurman, because that's what all their stuff is, I found what it looks like a match for the bracelet at $18.50. And this is important. All of these are the same exact price. And that's become significant in a moment. That's mother of pearl. I think it's onyx. Or no, maybe that was the malachite or the lapis, things like that. Here are the earrings that we believe match. That's $22.50, I think is what it says. All of these are the same price. Okay. So all of the different stones that are in there. And that's really significant because one of the questions that people are asking is that real turquoise? And I know exactly why they're asking. It's very, very, very uniform in color. There's nothing on this particular listing that says if it's real or not. But the fact that the malachite and if that was real turquoise with no veining in that color, it would be ridiculously expensive. I don't believe they would be the same price. I think that the turquoise would be very much more expensive. And in all these cases, those cases where I showed you the turquoise, it's the exact same price as like mother of pearl, which is not malachite is not a terribly expensive. The turquoise could be. And when you go to their care instruction for David Yurman, down here, you can't really read it. You can just Google, if you Google, does David Yurman's turquoise real? This is one of the top results, and a lot of people say no. Under turquoise, it says over here, and I can't really read it. It basically said the color that we want is very, very rare. So we use simulated where we grind up turquoise to get a uniform color, then basically set in a resin. So it's a simulated turquoise. That is what I believe these stones are worth, which I have always said they spend money, in a way that they buy things that have the worst possible resale prices. And I think Janelle has said on the show about him and his assets, right? Like he's investing in assets. I feel like McKelty said that somewhere. Maybe Gwen has said that somewhere off the show. And it's the same thing with the giclée prints that probably are terrible for resale value. And Yurman does not really hold their value well. When I saw these prices, as someone who does like jewelry, but does not like paying for what things are worth, and has done a lot of research on jewelry recently as we had to just deal with my mom's jewelry collection and trying to figure out what was fair. These prices, $4,000 seems ridiculously high, even with gold prices where they are now. So I did a little searching. These are like the retail versus the resale value. This is the real, but still the prices are pretty high. It's saying, this is just an example of like resold David Yurman. So I was looking, this is what this bracelet costs new, almost $1,000, which is funny because this one is $395. I took a class to make one of those for like $150, including supplies. So you could actually just go make one at a local jewelry shop. But remember, $950, the gold and the silver. And this is on eBay. It's the same. I cut it off, but it says David Yurman, $215 or best offer. So if you really want to find out, they can list things for whatever they want, but you want to see what's actually selling, and it's not even selling at $250. So it's probably it's probably worth a fraction of all that. So my big takeaway is here's a guy who just was going on and on about how Janelle thinks because she got divorced, she deserves things. And then we see him turning around and spending $4,000 on a Valentine's Day gift. My husband doesn't spend that much, I feel like, on all my gifts in a year. I mean, he loves me dearly. But also, I am not on TV crying about how my kids and my ex-wives don't deserve anything. Here's a guy who's trying to explain how he is so broke, but he's on a random, I mean, it's Valentine's Day, but you got Valentine's Day, you got Mother's Day, you got all this kind of stuff. huge, shelling out huge gifts. And I thought she looked kind of annoyed, and I wondered if maybe she was a little annoyed he did this on camera because she's trying to fight the allegations that they're living high on the hog on everyone else's money. And then here he's going and dropping thousands of dollars on gifts. So anyway, sorry, that was a super long video. I hope you find some of it useful.